craziest courtroom moments of all time.
Same pull the trigger that killed your son, now masturbates to memory.
What? Oh!
Same pull the trigger that killed your son, now masturbates to memory.
Oh my god.
You just gave me 40 years. Sir? You just gave me 3 years. Guess
What? What is that? What happened? What did he get? Wait, what? What happened? Oh wow, I don't know what's about to happen, but I'm so prepared. I think. I'm not that prepared actually. I'm not prepared at all.
This is Jaleel Smith, who was facing charges for murder in Michigan. Smith Riley was involved in an armed robbery on November 16th, 2013,
Okay.
where he and 2 other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was...
This was recorded on a 1936 camcorder. This looked like it was shot with Abraham Lincoln's butthole. What is happening here? Hey, I'm live on Twitch every single Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Link is in the description. I better see you there.
Norwood, where he and 2 other men approached a parked car. Inside the parked car was...
How do you know that's him?
Portia Brooks and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin. Smith Riley knocked on the window with a handgun and forced Martin, who was in the passenger seat, out of the car. Jaleel then proceeded to go through Aaron's pockets and demanded his cash. Once Jaleel had taken every dollar Aaron had, he then took his life with a shot to the head, causing permanent brain damage.
Damn.
However, Jaleel wasn't done there. Right after shooting Aaron, he then leaned into the car and fired at Brooks, who was sitting in the car, twice. And she died 3 days later. Fortunately, Martin survived the shooting and sustained serious injury. Before the judge announced the sentence that Jaleel would be facing, Portia's family got the chance to address the jury and the man who took their daughter away from them.
Okay.
Sharon Brooks, Portia's mother, brought the box containing her daughter's ashes to the courtroom that she had from previous court dates.
No. Don't tell me he's about to go and just dump it everywhere. Don't tell me he's about to run up and just start dumping it everywhere, bro.
She stated that Smith Riley had ruined her life and killed her identity as a mother of 3.
This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard and disrespect of others and life.
Okay.
But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is poor.
Tia Marie Brooks, Portia's sister, also spoke emotionally and requested that Smith Riley be handed the maximum sentence.
Why is he crying? I'm confused. Why is he crying?
I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Then, Aaron, who Jaleel shot in the head, spoke to the court.
Okay.
Still here with us. And she will always be here. So, she's our angel looking up for us, helping to get through these hard times.
As if Smith Riley's crime was not outrageous enough, his reaction to his sentence was even more dramatic. During the trial on August 11th, 2021, Smith Riley pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and attempted murder.
Okay.
However, he later decided to withdraw his guilty plea against the advice of his attorneys.
From the beginning,
What's that mean?
Emotional day for the families of both of these victims, but when Smith Riley decided to reverse his plea halfway through the sentencing hearing, they were shocked, and his attorneys were too, in part because it puts the death penalty back on the table.
Prior to receiving his sentence, Jaleel was heard apologizing in court as what appeared to be a last attempt at showing remorse.
He was not having it. He was not having it. Look at him. He is not having none of that.
Additionally, Jaleel's attorney made a final attempt at saving face. Despite the tears and the apologies, Judge Charles Kubicki, presiding over the case in Hamilton County Common Pleas Court, denied Smith Riley's request and sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The monster that is currently rotting behind bars collapsed to the floor of the courtroom upon receiving his sentence. Smith Riley also received an additional sentence of 11 years for a related attempted murder charge. However bad you think Smith Riley's case was, it can't be compared to the
That man heard his sentence and like he was about to drown or something. At least it's not death. I think I'd rather have death.
In this case, TJ Lane. This is TJ Lane, who's facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. TJ Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety.
He has a shirt that says killer on.
Case of TJ Lane. This is TJ Lane.
So he came in with a button up and then unbuttoned it to show killer. Oh my Lord.
Facing charges for multiple murders in Ohio. TJ Lane was a convicted American murderer who gained notoriety after committing a horrific crime in Chardon High School in Ohio. On February 27, 2012, the Ohio Police Department responded to multiple calls from teachers and students that there was an active shooter in the building.
High school, we got shots fired, guns, shots.
Damn.
Multiple gunshots.
How did he get out alive? How did they catch him? Shouldn't they have just shot him? How did they catch them? He shouldn't have been caught. He should have been shot, right? What?
According to police reports, Lane entered the school and headed to the cafeteria. It was here that TJ Lane opened fire and killed 3 students and severely injured 3 others. 6 people got physically harmed at the hands of TJ Lane that day, but hundreds, if not thousands of people left Chardon High School on February 27, 2012, with intangible pain that will last through eternity.
Glances of your friends laying all over the place. There's blood. There's people screaming. Everybody's running in different directions, and you're just trying to get out.
I saw a kid.
I'm so confused. No, like I still don't understand. He got to the school. He shot it up. Police came, and somehow he's able to.
And a gun pointed towards a group of kids. Do you remember the look on the gunman's face? I never looked at his face. I just looked at the gun. I still can't think about it all because it's just so scary.
Sounds terrifying.
Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community. He was swiftly apprehended and charged with.
The nigga is smirking. Why is he smirking?
3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of attempted aggravated murder, and 1 count of felonious assault. As if the murders were not bad enough, Lane showed no remorse for his actions at the trial and refused to cooperate with his attorneys. Instead, he appeared in court wearing a t-shirt with the word killer written on it, and even gave the middle finger to the victims' families. During the sentencing hearing, Lane made a shocking statement.
Saying pull the trigger, they kill your son, masturbates to memory.
The statement caused outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire neighborhood.
That's so insane. Hey! That is so insane to say, bro. I don't understand why that was.
The judge presiding over the case, Judge David.
That was the world's easiest trial. I'll let you know that much. That trial was easy as hell. Hold up. There was no debate in that trial. Lasted probably 13 minutes and 26 seconds. That's it. As soon as everyone got in there and sat down, it was over.
Described Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless, and sentenced him to 3 life sentences in prison without parole. Lane didn't.
That's fair.
When he heard his sentence, he remained emotionless and unremorseful. Lane's behavior and reactions were likened to that of a psychopath. However, not every convict remained emotionless after hearing their sentence, like in the case of Ryan Stone.
How y'all think dude doing in prison with those 3 years, those 3 life sentences? Y'all think he doing good? 3 is fair? Yeah, as long I think, never getting out is fair. I don't think he needs to get out ever. I get he was in high school or whatnot, but he should not see the light of day. The point blank period.
This is Ryan Stone, who is facing charges for going on a crime splurge throughout the nation, including kidnapping and assault, all of which was captured and broadcasted live by helicopters. The chase began after Stone hijacked a car with a 4-year-old boy inside and drove off, leading police on a dangerous pursuit that lasted more than an hour. During the chase, Stone drove up to 100 miles per hour and was reckless in every regard of the word. He's seen here overtaking an innocent civilian on the highway,
Jesus.
throwing him out of the car before carrying on in the new vehicle.
GTA? How did you get thrown out your car? Why didn't you drive off? I'm so confused. How did he get away with that?
That's not all. Watch here as he exits the highway, opens the car door at full speed, then slams onto the brakes right before crashing into another car parked at an intersection.
Oh, so he crashes into the cars. They get them to stop and then steals it from them.
Investigators believe this was a sorry attempt at another carjacking. Stone also crashed into several other vehicles during this chase, causing numerous injuries. At one point, he even came to just for taking a policeman who was trying to place stop sticks on the highway.
Oh my God!
And attempted to flee on foot.
How did he get away again? How did he get away with no gunshots? I'm confused on how this is. So no one shot him? I get there's civilians. Oh, okay. It makes sense. I had to think about it. The reason why the school shooter wasn't shot and the reason why he's not shot is because there's civilians around and they're not trying to risk shooting the civilians while trying to get them. Okay. That makes sense. I don't think it's because he's white, chat. I don't think so. I was thinking it at first. But when you put it like when I just said, I think that makes more sense.
Pause. Listen, I have a mentorship called the Moolah Membership where I'm going to teach you how to get rich with business, YouTube, crypto, stocks, financial literacy, credit, every single way. Now, I became a millionaire by the time I was 23 years old. I'm going to teach you step by step for only $50. Click the first link in the description right now and get added to my group chat where I'm going to give you one-on-one help to make sure you get rich in 2024. Click it right now. Stop tweaking because we got very, very, very limited spots and I don't want you to miss this bag.
However, he was quickly apprehended by police and placed in a holding cell.
You said, sure.
He was caught on tape boasting about his actions to a friend who visited him in the cell.
Oh.
You know I made the news in the UK and Australia?
This nigga is, oh my God. There's no way. This man went on and bragged about it?
What? Yeah. My lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia. If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
Ryan also believed that he should be compensated for his viral car chase because the news channels are using his car chase footage.
He wants to get copyrights for his car chase. No, that's insane. Oh my God.
You guys are getting paid using my name.
Stone was charged with 26 crimes involving kidnapping, motor vehicle theft, assault, and eluding police. Stone's sentencing hearing was emotional. In court, many of his victims and their families can be heard speaking about the impact of his crimes on their lives. Some spoke of physical injuries they had sustained in the crash, while others described the emotional trauma they had experienced during the incident.
Oh yeah, the emotional trauma of getting your kid kidnapped and they're in a car now going 100 miles per hour to Lord knows who, Lord knows where. Yes, I can understand that.
Stone spoke at the hearing. He cried, expressed remorse for his actions, and apologized to his victims. Isn't it ironic that in the same week, Ryan was captured in the video on the left, laughing and boasting about his crimes. In the other video on the right, he's seen crying and begging for sympathy from the court. As he finally realized the severity of his actions.
It's like, how do you get sympathy though? Like, what is your excuse? There's things that can possibly have an excuse. I don't see a single excuse for what you did. Like, there is none.
Despite his apology, the judge in the case was unmoved, noting that Stone had shown a pattern of criminal behavior and that he posed a threat to society. The judge handed down the maximum sentence possible. Stone pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to 160 years in prison.
Damn! 160 and parole after 75 years. Wow. Okay.
Without the possibility of parole.
Damn.
Stone was in tears when he learned he'd spend the rest of his life in prison. Stone blamed his actions on drugs, and his show of remorse might be sincere. However, some convicts are rather shocked by their sentences, like in the case of Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. This is Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari, who are facing charges for first-degree murder in Michigan. Seth and Tatiana were the parents of 10-month-old Mary Ann Welch, who police said died.
They killed their baby? Hold on. They didn't kill their baby, right?
Seth and Tatiana were the parents of 10-month-old Mary Ann Welch, who police said died of malnutrition and dehydration due to neglect. August 2nd, 2018, in Solon Township, Kent County, Michigan. Child Protective Services have been involved with the family since 2014 after THC was found in the system of their firstborn child.
Oh my
Mary
God.
weighed only 8 pounds at the time of her death. Her parents refused to seek medical help, citing religious reasons and distrust of the medical system. The family home was found to be unhygienic during the initial investigation, with evidence of vermin, insects, and mold. The doctor...
What's vermin? Like, I know it's like someone will be like, ew, you vermin, but what does that mean, though?
The autopsy confirmed that Mary was suffering from chronic malnutrition caused by withholding food and water. Seth's call to 911 revealed their level of neglect for their daughter.
And he said, when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right? Yes. And that's when you consulted with a lawyer? Yep. Do you believe she was beyond help already? Oh, yeah. It was bad as well.
When in court,
You talking about your baby? You talking about your baby like that? Oh my goodness. Okay, bro. That shit pissing me off. Hold this 30-second ad. I'm upset.
the prosecutors made sure to highlight just how neglectful the parents were of their 10-month-old child.
You didn't know that. And don't tell me you didn't intend that because you didn't get hurt when we pushed out of that crib. You left her in there. You ignored her. She was an inconvenience.
The couple was initially charged with felony homicide murder in August 2018. In June 2020, Seth Welch was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2021, Fusari testified that her husband was abusive and she was not allowed to take Mary to the doctor.
I'm gonna let you know this now. As a person who knows many mothers and many people, if a mother wants to take care of their baby, they will. I think we all know that. If a mom wants to take care of their baby, they will. They will do whatever it takes. Okay, bro. Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro.
He got very angry with me. He snapped me across the face and he told me that he knows how I... He said, you know what...
She didn't take care of her baby for a smack? Ain't no way one smack made you not stop taking care of your baby. One smack? You weren't built to be a mother in the first place. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
I told you Mary is fine. She's fine. Now drop it.
In November 2021, Fusari was sentenced to life without parole for first-degree murder and an additional 15 to 30 years for first-degree child abuse. When the judge pronounced their life sentence, Seth's mouth dropped open in shock, and Fusari started crying. For many people, this couple got what they deserved. However, this wasn't...
Just many? You didn't... Why didn't you say everyone? What do you mean many? What do you mean many? It should have been everyone.
The only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice. There was the case of Esteban Carpio. A convict got a sentence. Couple got what they deserved. However, this wasn't the only time a convict got a sentence that felt like justice.
Okay.
There was the case of Esteban Carpio. This is Esteban Carpio, who was facing charges for murder in Rhode Island. Carpio was an American murderer who killed a detective at a Providence police station in 2005. Providence Police Detective Sergeant James L. Allen, another detective were questioning Carpio at the Providence Police headquarters for accosting an 85-year-old woman, Madeline Gatto. According to police reports,
he killed an 85-year-old too?
The second detective left to the third-floor interview room to retrieve some water. It was here where things took a turn for the worst.
Carpio had asked for water. The two detectives that were in there with him, one left to go get the water and locked the door behind him. And they tragically heard Detective Allen say, I think he's going to kill me. He's got my gun, he's going to kill me. By the time they broke it down, the officer was dying, and Carpio had jumped out the window.
However, he was captured a few minutes later amid struggles with the police, but that was not the end of the drama. Due to the risky jump and struggles with the police, Carpio sustained injuries.
Okay. Damn! That jump must have been high as hell!
Came time for the sentencing. Carpio came to court wearing a mask designed...
He looked like oh my god, he looked like he from, Evil Within. That's what he looked like. He looked like he a character from Evil Within, bro. He needs to be in a horror game.
To keep him from spitting at or biting others. His face was red,
hitting or biting anyone?
Swollen.
They put a muzzle on him. That is a muzzle. Oh!
Here in court, his family members screamed and accused the police of brutality. The family believed that they forced him to wear the mask to try and hide the brutal revenge beating they gave Carpio behind closed doors. In fact, Carpio's aunt went on live TV to say this.
Police brutality. He was mentally ill. He needed help and we couldn't get him. We tried and tried.
Kill somebody. But he murdered. He murdered more than one person actually. They say he killed the 85-year-old lady, right? So what? Okay.
He didn't deserve this.
However, Providence Police Chief Dean M. Esserman argued that Carpio's injuries were sustained when he jumped from the third-floor interview room and resisted arrest.
3 floors might just do that to you. 3 floors? You know, I have never jumped from 3 floors, but a 3-story jump ball may do something to you.
The FBI later investigated the police, but it was concluded that they did not use excessive force.
No civil rights violation.
I don't believe that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't believe it. But what's excessive force when someone just got through shooting somebody? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is excessive force after that?
If he's fighting the police officers, the officers have the right to use whatever force necessary to subdue the subject.
On June 27, 2006, a jury found Carpio guilty of the murder of Detective Allen and the stabbing of Madeline Gatta.
Damn.
Despite his plea of insanity, Carpio was sentenced to life in prison without parole. First, he showed little reaction to his sentence and remained unmoved. However, later, in an attempt to win over the jury, he was heard apologizing for his actions.
Every day, I face the facts of what I did. Then what happened?
Carpio claimed he was suffering from mental illness at the time of the crime, but the court didn't entertain the claims. However evil you think Carpio is, how does he compare to Kayla Mendoza?
Okay, what did Kayla do that was worse than Carpio? Because Carpio was pretty bad. I still think the parents thing is the worst, because they spent 9 months holding the baby, then they brought it into life, and then they chose to, not only they didn't abort it, but they chose not to take care of it and kill it after it has a sentient mind. So I don't know how much worse you can get than that. Let's see.
Who tweeted this the same night she took 2 girls' lives in a deadly drunk driving crash.
Too drunk to care?
This is Kayla.
He goes there to 2 counts of deep.
I think that might be worse. I think that might be worse. Y'all think that's worse than I don't know the last dude's name. Y'all think it's worse than that? I think it's worse. Killing someone and then saying too drunk to care. 2 people saying too drunk to
You want to manslaughter count 1 and count 3. How do you plead it?
He was facing charges for double manslaughter, among other charges in Florida. The 20-year-old woman who was not licensed to drive was convicted of the murder of 2 women while drunk driving in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on November 17th, 2013. Before the crash, Mendoza went to a...
How are you driving without a license too? Oh my.
Local bar with her manager and colleagues from her job, where she drank 2 fishbowl margaritas. A few hours later, Mendoza got behind the wheel of a Hyundai Sonata and drove the wrong way on the Sawgrass Expressway.
How?
The wrong way down the freeway at more than 80 miles an hour. She collided head-on with another car.
That is terrifying.
Beautiful young women, Marissa Petronio and Caitlin Ferrante, both just 21.
Mendoza was charged with 2 counts of DUI manslaughter while impaired, 2 counts of DUI manslaughter with an unlawful blood alcohol level, 2 counts of vehicular homicide, and 2 counts of driving without a license causing death.
That has to be life, right? That has to be life or 2 sentences. At least that has to be like 2 life sentences or something. I don't think she should come out. I think what makes it worse is especially the text, the post. The post seals the deal. Talking about some too drunk to care.
Mendoza's then boyfriend owned the Hyundai Sonata involved in the crash and explained that the too drunk to care tweet was directed toward him.
The too drunk to care tweet was for my boyfriend because he was upset I was out, hanging out with them and with Marcella drinking because he wanted him to be home.
I don't even know if that makes it better. It could be lies, but even if it isn't a lie, that doesn't make it any better.
The Ferrante and Catronio families filed lawsuits against Mendoza, the boyfriend, the T-Mobile store where Mendoza was employed, and the Tijuana taxi company.
What the hell T-Mobile do? What the hell T-Mobile do?
On May 4th, 2015, 2 months after pleading guilty to 2 DUI manslaughter charges, Mendoza was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Mendoza was apologetic throughout the trial. When she heard her sentence, her apology and crying intensified.
How much time passes? I'm going to live with that every day.
After her sentence, Mendoza will also serve 6 years of probation.
24? I mean, how old is she again? 30? Wait. So she's 30 years old, no license, and was she's clearly old enough to know she shouldn't be driving without a license. And no. Guys, it says 30 right here. It says 30. What do you mean? It says she's 20. She was 20 when she did it. Okay, if y'all say so. Oh, it does say who was
Permanently banned from driving a motor vehicle. Mendoza's apologies and remorse showed that she may yet be saved. However, the same cannot be said for Adrian Dunn. This is Adrian Dunn, who is facing charges for murder in San Antonio.
He kind of like Chris next door.
Adrian, an ex-convict, was sentenced for the murder of Rakeem Tariq Charles. Police said that Adrian shot Charles in the back during a drug deal in a parking lot on July 16, 2012. To make matters worse, this wasn't even Dunn's first encounter with law enforcement.
To prison twice for possessing a firearm after this murder. He committed another shooting a month before this murder. And he's shown zero remorse.
Oh my God.
Prosecutors urged the jury to impose the maximum sentence, noting that Adrian had an extensive criminal history and had shown no remorse for the murder. Prosecutor Jason Goss can be seen here holding the hand of the victim's parents. Before arguing to the jury that a life sentence was necessary to prevent another family from suffering.
Yeah, y'all said that he had multiple firearm thingy things within a 3-month span. Yeah, he may just need life.
Charles' family had
Her son, who has to suffer, and this family has to suffer because of the defendant. And that's why we're asking for a life sentence.
If you thought the crimes were horrendous, wait till you see how Adrian reacted to his sentence.
Okay.
Throughout the trial, Adrian showed no remorse and couldn't have been less concerned. He was found guilty of the crime. Still, his attorney argued that a sentence of 35 to 40 years would be more appropriate.
But give Adrian a chance to go into prison and try to make something of himself.
Okay.
So that when he gets out, if he ever gets out, he can try to be an asset to our community.
No.
The jury deliberated for just 2 hours before returning with a sentence of life in prison. As the jury's decision was read out, Adrian began to fight with Bexar County Sheriff's deputies, attempting to escort him from the courtroom. Dunn's behavior was marked by profanity and outbursts. He was eventually subdued and removed from the court. Adrian's case can be termed a drug case gone bad.
Yeah.
However, while he remains stoic and combative, there are other convicts who break down in court.
Yeah, it's like, y'all think he should have got longer? I don't know. I think she might have should have got longer. That's just me. I Oh no, bro. Doesn't seem like his history
Feel
is
genuine
good.
remorse for their actions, like in the case of Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves. This is Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves.
This is so funny. Like, let's just listen to it.
Like in the case of Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves.
Guess what, Chad?
This is Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves.
I ain't gonna let you sit here and say crazy shit about me, man. Oh, man, he's saying shit he don't even know, man.
It would be crazy that one of these people, or a few of them, like, got out years later and there was, like, things were, like, false. Like him. Like, what if he came out and the shit that happened, with him is false? That would be insane.
Facing charges for the murder.
Looking back at this would be crazy.
The cause of death was physical abuse, which was later ruled as murder. The 4-year-old boy, Giovanni Mejias, was the son of Ortiz Nieves' girlfriend, Sonia Hernandez. Sonia claimed she had no involvement in the crime. However, her neighbor had a different side of the story.
Sonia was well aware. She was well aware of what was happening because she told him that was his responsibility to whoop them.
Ortiz Nieves denied abusing the boy, and the judge and prosecutors believed his beating the child resulted in his death. Kent County deputies reported that when they arrived at the Gaines Township trailer, where Ortiz Nieves was left to care for several children under 11, it was here that they found Giovanni left on the kitchen floor. An autopsy showed that...
Just left there? Just on the kitchen floor, just left?
Giovanni died from a bleeding caused by an abdominal tear, which would have been caused by an adult, not a child.
Oh my God.
During the trial, Kent County Circuit Court Judge Mark Trusock can be heard condemning Ortiz Nieves' actions, reprimanding him in very strong words, insisting that he should never be allowed out of prison.
Yeah?
You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see. That you committed this murder and that you beat this little boy to death.
The judge described the injuries suffered by Giovanni before his death, causing Ortiz Nieves to become upset and struggle with deputies, who had to remove him from the courtroom.
You had put cigarettes out on this.
Oh my goodness, bro. Who allowed him to have a kid in the first place? Okay, bro.
This poor little child. There was evidence of that from the picture. Anybody says anything back there?
Who's the one screaming? It's probably his girl, huh? I would be the only one defending the behavior. That
Ortiz Nieves was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole and was given a sentence of 80 to 150 years for first-degree child abuse.
I mean, that's a little light if you ask me.
Ortiz Nieves' reaction might suggest that he is guilty. However, this wasn't the only time a convict reacted emotionally to their sentence. There is the case of Jordan Fuss. This is Jordan Fuss. Sentence. There is the case of Jordan Fuss. This is Jordan Fuss.
I'm sorry. I wish it was me. He didn't deserve it. I did.
Facing charges for manslaughter and...
What the fuck did he do to this car? The back wheels are gone. The back wheels are gone.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The 22-year-old was found guilty of DUI manslaughter in a 2014 crash and claimed the life of 6-year-old Santiago Geraldo. Fuss, shaking uncontrollably as he entered the courtroom with his family, had a blood alcohol level of 0.21%, which is more than twice the legal limit. He was traveling over 90 miles per hour on Sterling Road.
They caught it live. They caught it live. They caught it live. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Twice the legal limit. He was traveling.
He's just steady coming right here.
Per hour on.
I can't watch it.
The vehicle at Davie Road just before midnight on October 4th.
Can y'all stop rewinding it? I can't do it. I have a week, you know?
Prosecutors had sought the maximum sentence for the crime. Fuss' attorney argued for a reduced sentence, stating that his client had been so remorseful that he contemplated suicide. However, prosecutors stated that Fuss had admitted to using alcohol and smoking marijuana since the crash. The Geraldo family cried in court while the defense argued for a lighter sentence. Santiago's father took the stand and had this to say while staring directly into Jordan's eyes.
What do you have to say?
You didn't just take my son's life, you took mine.
Oh. Okay.
During the trial, Fuss can be seen apologizing to the victim's family in tears.
I'm sorry.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he is remorseful, though, because again, he was drunk, but then again, drunk drivers don't intend to kill somebody, even though I don't know why the fuck you would drink and think, oh yeah, it's cool to drive. I don't understand. I truly don't. But he could have still been remorseful. So with him being remorseful, give him like only 2 life sentences.
He also expressed his love for his family members and girlfriend, whom he met online after the crash. Then came the verdict.
You got a girlfriend after the crash online? What the hell? Why was that important? Why was that important information?
Jordan was sentenced to 14 years in prison.
14?
Imposes the low permissible prison sentence allowable by Florida criminal.
He got the lowest?
1426 through 5 years.
He continued crying as he learned his fate. Fuss might.
You hear someone talking about going to college in this moment? Listen up.
Fuss might have learned his lesson. However, some crimes require more than being remorseful.
Yeah.
Like in the case of Antonio Barbo, a 13-year-old who murdered his own grandmother.
Oh yeah, we saw this. Yep. Him and someone else just murdered their own grandmother for $100.
That's a plot. This is Antonio Barbo, who is facing charges for murder in Wisconsin. 14 years old, Barbo was in court for the murder of his 78-year-old great-grandmother, Barbara Olson. Rather than trying to explain what this 14-year-old monster did, let's hear it directly from the mouth of the killer.
I tried to scare her to get money and then use force if needed.
I'll never understand why you have to try to use force to get money from your grandma. It's your grandma. Your grandma will give you money just because you ask. It's Granny. She wants to see her grandbabies happy. So what were you forced? Oh my god.
An attack, I guess to kill.
The boys hid weapons in their pants before catching a ride to be dropped off at Antonio's grandma's house. What happened when the boys got inside was shocking.
He knew I was on the run and she said she was going to call my mom. But he not the first way.
Okay. And when you say you took the first swing is with the hand axe?
Yes, sir.
So you killed your grandma because she was going to call your mom.
Antonio also said that he tried to put his great-grandmother's body in a car trunk, but when he couldn't, he left it in the garage and covered it with a blanket. Judy, Barbara's granddaughter, was the person who discovered the body. She quickly ran to a neighbor's house to call the police.
Please send an ambulance and the police. My mother is laying in the garage and there's a lot of blood and there's a blanket over her head. There's a lot of blood. How did the blanket get over her? I have no idea. And how old is your mother? She is 78. And is she breathing? I don't know. I can't look. The blanket is over her head and I can't look. I'll take it. Who's here with you? Oh, that's the neighbor. Okay, can the neighbor check if she's breathing? Okay.
Call for help and try and save Barbara. Antonio and his accomplice used the $155 to get high and enjoy some pizza.
They killed Granny to get high and eat pizza.
During the trial, you could see Barbo reading a statement, apologizing for the killing and asking for forgiveness. Barbo said he regretted his actions. Regardless of his apologies, Barbo was sentenced to life imprisonment as he continued crying. However shocking you think Barbo's case was, LaShirley Morris's case gives it a run for its money.
Does it really?
This is LaShirley Morris, who is facing charges for murder in Atlanta.
Okay.
LaShirley is accused of killing 3-year-old Kwan Mason. The cause of death was physical abuse with a baseball bat, which was later ruled as a homicide. The incident occurred October 21st, 2017, when Morris beat the boy as punishment. But what punishment could be so severe?
With a bat?
Death. Well, listen here.
And then a violent death for taking a cupcake from the kitchen.
A child.
Hey, no! No! She beat him for a cupcake. Oh my God.
Child who was inside the home witnessed the attack and reported the events to the police.
Gotta wait, he's not alert. No, he's not alert. He was breathing at first. Now he's not breathing.
Morris's sister, Glendria Morris, was also charged in the child's death because she did not intervene during the incident. The victim.
You watch this child get hit with a...
Kwan Mason lived with Glendria Morris, who was also his legal guardian at the time of the alleged killing. Kwan and 3 of his siblings entered the Division of Family and Child Services care after their mother was arrested on a reckless conduct charge in March 2017. According to DFCS records, Mason allegedly left her children home alone, had anger issues, and abused the children. Geraldine Mason, the victim's mother, was released in April 2017.
Why does she keep the children when she knows she can't take care of them? That's what I don't understand. Why do parents willingly put themselves in a situation that they're setting themselves up and the kids up for failure? I don't get it.
United with one of her children, but requested temporary guardianship for Kwan and his twin brother, according to DFCS records. In court, the 911 call LaShirley made showed that the baby was already dead before first responders arrived. LaShirley Morris was found guilty of murder, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children charges, and sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after pleading guilty to murder. LaShirley's actions were horrible.
How about no parole? Huh?
However, Hoskins' reaction seemed to top it. This is Jaleel Hoskins, who's facing charges for murder in Michigan for the murder of his girlfriend, Latrice Mays. Mays, a mother of 5, disappeared in March of...
Who took a mother of 5? Oh, 5?
2013. Her sudden and mysterious absence led to her family wanting answers, and ultimately a nationwide search. Initially, Hoskins denied being involved with the murder whatsoever.
I have nothing to do with the murder. I have nothing to do with the disappearance.
However, Hoskins quickly changed his plea when he heard the testimonials and evidence being argued against him. First, Hoskins' own cousin took the stand.
After the domestic or whatever happened, I guess she, after they left, she said she was going to tell the police that he stabbed her about doing it.
For what?
To kill her. I guess he choked her or something.
So you were on the phone when this happened, or you were in their house? I'm confused. Where was he at?
He said he told her.
Yeah.
Then,
oh, he told you.
One of Hoskins' close friends took the stand.
Said I did her. I need some help. I can't carry her by myself.
Lastly, on the same day of the murder, police dashcam footage showed them responding to a call Latrice had made in which she claimed Hoskins was abusing her. After hearing the piles of evidence against him, Hoskins was forced to change his plea. Hoskins pleaded guilty to the murder of Latrice Mays and also admitted to tampering with the evidence.
At least his friend didn't go and help her. You know what I'm saying? You know how some niggas think they have to be ride or die. You don't. I promise you don't. you don't have to be bad whatsoever. So at least he didn't help him.
Hoskins, a habitual criminal offender, decided to take Mace's life because he was afraid she would report his assault on the father of 2 of her children to the police.
Why did you assault their father?
Murder, which carries a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. Mace was afraid she would not regain custody of 2 of her children if she did not cooperate with law enforcement in the assault against the children's father. Hoskins was given a maximum life sentence in prison as a repeat offender. He attacked the podium before being restrained by police. Hoskins' reaction was crazy. However, nothing could prepare you for the reaction of Ricky Hand.
Does anyone think they're prepared for the reaction of Ricky Hand? Because I do. W snitch facts. Facts. Big W snitch. Does anyone think they're prepared for the reaction for him? Because I think I'm prepared. I think I'm prepared, to be honest. I don't know about y'all.
This is Ricky Hand.
A Springfield man possibly facing new charges tonight after he throws urine and feces on his attorney.
I was not prepared. No. I was not. I was not prepared. I was not.
He was facing charges for multiple robberies in Ohio. Ricky had been on a robbing spree, hitting numerous local convenience stores late at night and running off with some extra cash. However, this crime spree would soon come to an end the night he decided to try his luck with John's drive-thru. In the footage here, we can find the owner of the shop beginning to close down for the night. Little did this small business owner know, there was an armed Ricky Hand lurking the building. As Ricky began to make his way to the door, he's greeted by the owner who is armed and begins firing to scare Ricky off. After this failed robbery attempt, the shop owner called the police to inform them that there had just been a robbery attempt, resulted in a man getting shot.
Yeah, this is John's drive-thru.
He's so calm with it. He's so calm.
It would only take a couple of days for Ricky to admit himself to a hospital in order to treat the bullet wounds he left John's drive-thru with that night. It was here police arrested and questioned him about that night.
I did try to rob John's drive-thru. Got shot 3 times. I did the car lane a lot.
When the case took to the courtroom, Hand was sentenced to 40 years.
So what did he get 40 years for? Armed robbery. It's because he was armed, huh? Multiple armed robbery. If he was he armed? I'm gonna assume he was armed. If he wasn't armed, then I would be kind of confused, but he has 40 years.
The reason the judge gave Ricky such a long sentence was because they were also able to prove he was guilty for carrying out a string of robberies across Springfield, Ohio.
Were they armed though? Because if he was just robbing places, he wasn't armed, then 40 years is insane. But if he's armed, then okay.
Hand lost it when he heard that he would spend decades in jail. Hand reached for bottles of his own excrement and urine, which were hidden in an arm sling, and threw it at his lawyer in court. You can see Hand reach for the
That's
bottles.
so disgusting. That's so disgusting.
As a result of the court,
he was prepared to lose too. He's not like me. I'm only prepared for win. I'm only prepared for W's.
Hand was charged with an additional 5 counts of harassment with bodily substances.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
4 for the deputies present. He was also charged with obstructing official business and retaliation. If you thought these reactions were shocking...
So how long did he get? I'm gonna unleash my bipolar. Okay, bud.